Episode 3375, Break Free from the Heaviness.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. I hope you're ready for the start of a brand new week. That means you have new mercies to look at your life a little bit differently. And you know what? On Mindset Monday, you got to break free from the heaviness. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already even had the opportunity, you'll want to head on over to createyournow.com where you can learn more and sign up for the K.I.S.S newsletter. They keep it simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, this episode is brought to you by AIM, inspiring connection and community. Well, AIM is opening up very soon. We are revamping the website, which I know I've been talking about. It seems like forever and ever and ever. But I've been working with the team who's working on the website, and man, we've got some incredible things going. And I wish I could just like wiggle my nose and everything would just come to you. But you know what? When you are going through change, when you're revamping something, when you're trying to make something different or even better before you even open up the doors, wow, you know, something's got to go. And you know, you're just kind of on that cutting edge of, I know it's going to get here. So it's going to get here. I promise you. It may be by the time school ends, but it's going to get here. And I am thrilled to be able to bring it to you all. We're going to be opening up some opportunities too for you to help support Create Your Now. We are getting to the point where we are expanding and we need assistance. We no longer can fund this the way we have been funding it. So we're going to need assistance in that. So a lot of incredible things going on between the TV show. We're expanding that, our outreach. We are global now. We're international. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. We are still on pray.com partnering with them. So head on over there to them. There's a lot of great leaders on pray.com also that I would encourage you to listen to. Now, I tell you all of this because I try to present you with the best of the best. And I'm bringing you my experiences and what I see from my observations of life. And yes, you know, I come at it from a Christian perspective. And so my conversations with God and how I see things and what I've overcome and what I have totally failed on. And in all of that, even with my grand dog about ready to squeak again, his little squeaky toy. Yes, he's only 1 year old. So if you hear the squeak in the background, I apologize in advance. But you know what? I'm going to let him be a dog for a moment because it's going to work actually with our episode and the notes, I think, if I get to that part of it. But I just got to say that sometimes we have it all together, right? We as an individual, you know what you're doing, you know where you're headed, maybe your career's on track, maybe you feel like everything's right where you want, but the world around you just seems to be crumbling. And finding the strength to keep moving forward can be an immense challenge to the point where you just kind of want to lock yourself in the closet or you want to keep pressing that I'm not going to get up button, whatever you want to call that, right? I'm going to snooze. Maybe you're not even snoozing. Maybe you're just scrolling. It's a different S. But it's as if we're stuck in a rut, unable to break free from the heaviness of our surroundings. And even when the chaos has nothing to do with us personally, it's just around us, it still can impact us and it can weigh heavy on our spirits. And maybe you're feeling that this morning. Maybe that's why Mondays are so hard. Mondays are so chaotic because it's like, oh, we've got to face stuff that we don't have control over. And maybe for you personally, you're right where you're supposed to be. You've done the hard work. You've come to the other side, but you're like, Christiane, there's still so much going on. It's like, I can't break free from this heaviness. And amidst the chaos and uncertainty, it's crucial to remember that you have the power to navigate through the storm and emerge stronger on the other side. You can do it. I know in the moment when it's happening, you're like, there's no way. I know, been there. Just this week I was. Actually, technically it was past. It was last week. We're in this week now. So it was last week. And I thought, wow, we're finally settling in. And then all of a sudden, it was like a bomb going off. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Seriously. And I'm like, Lord, how much more? I'm like, how much more can everything around me be crumbling down? You built it up. We've stayed the course. We're still doing what we need to do. But you know what? It's still crumbling. But regardless of your positioning, Regardless of what everybody else is going through around you, I'm here to encourage you today, stay the course. That is your KISS to Keep It Simple strategy. Stay the course. Because if you choose to stay the course, it's not going to be easy. It just isn't. I would like to tell you that, everything's going to get better in 24 hours. Nope. It may be 24 months before it gets better. And you're like, whoa, that's a big jump. Yeah, it is. Because sometimes you just can't speed up what you think needs to happen fast enough. Each of us go through our own journey. And if you've got people around you going through their stuff and you're like, oh, but I've got to be there for them. Yeah, you do. Most definitely. But that doesn't mean that you sacrifice what you are doing. You may just be doing it a little differently. And that's the key. Plans don't always change, but the approach to your plans do. And I know when I look at where I have been over the last few months and how I thought 2024 was going to be a lot more, and boy, was it ever, but not the way I thought it was. God has challenged me, and he's also given me the strength and resilience all at the same time. And you can have that too. But in order to get there, you've got to be willing to stay the course. You have got to accept the challenge that you have no control over what's in front of you, except for your own responses to the situation or circumstance. That's the only thing you have control over. And so that's why sometimes, yes, where and how you're going about things, the approach may have to change just a little bit. But you can still be active and moving towards your goals, your dreams. You can still be living your life. It just might look a little different. And so for today, let's look at what we can do to stay the course when everything around us is crumbling. How do you really break free from the heaviness? Well, number one, you have to cultivate grit. Renowned psychologist Dr. Angela Duckworth, she emphasizes that cultivating grit is essential in weathering tough times. Grit is the tenacity and resilience to persevere in the face of challenges, setbacks, and failures. And by developing a mindset focused on long-term goals and staying committed to them, individuals can summon their inner strength needed to overcome adversity, meaning that you're not relying on someone else to give you what you need. You already have it, my friend. But you've got to activate it. You've got to cultivate it. You've got to renew it. You've got to keep going through the motions that you know works for you. And yes, some of your plans may change or the approach to your plans may change, but you still can move forward. Number two, stay resilient with self-care. Another key aspect of staying resilient during difficult times is, practicing self-care. Dr. Vivek Murthy, former Surgeon General of the United States, underscores the importance of maintaining physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Engaging in activities that bring joy, seeking support from loved ones, and prioritizing rest are vital components of self-care that can replenish our energy reserves and fortify us to face life's storms. So like I said, your approach has to change. You may actually need more sleep, which means if you're an all-nighter or you can do things late at night, like I'm talking to anyone like myself, because I am one of those, I can get by on 4 hours. I do better on about 6.5. It's hard for me to get to 8 or 9, not straight hours. I mean, I can't do that, like sleep for 8 straight hours. Yeah, it does not work for me. It just does not. I wish it would. And no, I'm not one who's going to take, things that induce me into a coma, so to speak. But we'll leave that for another episode. But you've got to stay resilient with self-care. You've got to know when you've been pushed too far and when you say, whoa, I got to put on the brakes right here. Whoa, I got to slow down. And then you slow down and you allow yourself that time, even if it's only 20 minutes. I found myself a few days ago just needing to rest. And I had 3 major things that had to be accomplished in less than 12 hours. And I thought, there's no way. And I thought, well, there's no way if I don't rest. And so what did I do? I rested for about, maybe 30, 35 minutes or so. I just let my body tell me. And then I was up and at him and moving, and I got it all done. It wouldn't have happened as easily as it did if I hadn't rested, if I hadn't paid attention to my body. Just because everything around you is crumbling doesn't mean you have to crumble too. Take care of yourself, my friend. You see, wellness, your well-being is an everyday affair. It just doesn't happen on Wednesday. Just saying. Number 3, you've got to be vulnerable. And this is a hard thing because a lot of us put up walls. But you've got to be vulnerable. Dr. Brene Brown, a research professor who specializes in resilience, she highlights the significance of vulnerability in building emotional resilience. Acknowledging and processing our feelings, sharing our struggles with trusted individuals, that's the key there, and seeking help when needed are courageous acts that can foster connection and resilience. So if you're one who's saying, yeah, but the people that I trust are kind of in a mess right now, that's okay. Find another person. You only have to find one person. Why do you think I am so excited about AIM? I have been for, yes, literally years. God gave me the dream. I didn't give it to myself because I know what it's like to be surrounded by people who can love you from afar and who can help you through the craziness. All the while, you not sacrificing who you are and who you are becoming. Vulnerability wins the heart, my friend. Just as a tree needs support to weather a storm, your dreams require nurturing and protection to flourish amidst chaos and uncertainty. And by tending to your dreams with care and taking proactive steps to safeguard them, you can sustain your momentum even in challenging times. You know, I mentioned my grand dog. Yes, I don't even believe that I even call them my grand dog, but yep, I'm one of those. But yes, he's adorable. He's one. He's part golden and part something else, but he definitely has more golden in him. But he's as fast as lightning. And like I said, he's just a year and change. Like, I mean, not even like 13 months. Like, he's just a baby. And he is determined to get into trouble if you're not paying attention to him. And so I found him. I actually didn't find him, but I found, should I say, the evidence of what he left behind. And he was this determined dog digging around my little tree that I planted about now, I think it was, this will be the 3rd year. I believe it's year 3, if I remember correctly. And it was just a little twiggy. I mean, seriously. And I planted it for my grandson who was born. And that was to celebrate him and his birth. And so I walked over there because I was doing some other things. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it's slightly leaning. What is the problem here? Well, I knew what the problem was. The dog had gotten to it. His tail, he doesn't even know he has a tail. And he was sitting there whacking it as he was standing because the fence is right there. And I'm sure he was watching the traffic go by and he thought it was fun. This is the best place to be. I get to dig around this tree. But you see, this tree is young too. And so like a determined dog digging around the tree, you have the power to secure your dream. Replace the shaky ground with firm support and continue growing towards your aspirations. All right, so what did I do in the ground? I covered it up with more dirt, put mulch around it, and then I got a stability stick, this green long thing that will hold it. So when his tail hits it, he's going to be like, oh, what was that? He hit something a little bit harder because that tree is still very tender. And it flowers and blooms. It's gorgeous. It's not supposed to be a really big tree. It's an ornamental tree. It only gets to be about 6.5 feet or so. So it's little. It's halfway there. But it's not where it needs to be when there's this ferocious, young, energetic puppy that just wants to tear it up because it thinks, oh, it's just a stick to play with little green things coming off of it. Pretty soon it's going to have purple flowers. But it's got to survive. And so when everything else is crumbling around you, you've got to find a way to replace the shaky ground with firm support. Who are your confidants? Who can you trust? Stay rooted in your purpose. Stay connected with your support system. And stay resilient in the face of adversity. Your growth is unstoppable, even when the world around you may seem to be crumbling. And unfortunately, a lot of us are there. We're doing great. But everybody else, you're like, Whew, if I could just have everybody else go somewhere else, but you can't do that because it is your responsibility to be there for them. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there is something wrong with it when you have to let all of what you want go. And I'm saying you can have both. But your plans that you had laid out before everything started crumbling, your approach may be a little bit different now. Secure that ground. You may have to anchor to a stick, something stronger than you are right now. Be vulnerable with where you are with someone that you trust. Because even though the world around you is crumbling, you don't have to, my friend. Break free from the heaviness. God's got you, and He will carry you through. Go in peace. Be present. Be incredible. Be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed day. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.